The best freelancers I've ever seen, the ones that get paid the most, are almost never, ever the ones best at their craft. So I want creatives to get paid. I want us to live off the work that we create, off the stuff that's in our heart, you know? I want these super talented creative motherfuckers out there to quit their hospitality job, to stop serving coffee, quit that corporate BS dark grey cubicle, and get out and do the thing that we were born to do, which is create. And after over a decade of running my own creative production agency, hiring and mentoring hundreds and hundreds of creatives, I can really see two clear paths that I think you can take to get paid in this industry. The first is being a freelance warrior, and the second being having an agency filled with other creative warriors, right? These are just two. There is probably some more, and there are nuances with each way that you apply this, but they're really the fundamental ways that I can see to go about it. For myself, I've done the freelancer thing as a musician and as a creative consultant, but most of my career and most of my money was made by doing the agency thing, by hiring photographers, videographers, editors, graphic designers, retouchers, musicians, stylists, everything around that photo and video production world. I know people make money down these paths because, number one, I've made a lot of money going down the agency route. And number two, I've paid a lot of money to freelancers. You know, I pay these guys to work within my agency. And last time I checked, I paid just over about $10 million to creatives, which I think is super awesome and something that I'm really proud of. So in this video, I'm gonna break down the first option, the freelance option, but I would implore you to come at this with an open mind. You know, it's gonna be your job to try and see how it fits within whatever creative medium that you choose to be in. I think this can work with graphic designers, with tattoo artists, even the hairstylist. You know, these are foundational points that I think can help you grow your creative business. So first up, Freelance Life. You've got your tools, you've got your creative medium, you've spent years and time working on your creative craft, and now you want to get paid. Or maybe you are getting paid, you're doing odd jobs here and there. Maybe you're fully invested into working as a freelancer and you just want to get paid more, get better jobs, and just get more of it, which is awesome, right? Because as you may have already found out, the world of freelancing can be a tumultuous one, but it can also be very rewarding. So I'll start with the pros and cons. The pros: you can make a lot of cash, almost infinite. You can dictate your time and energy, which means the freedom, the time, the resources is yours to work out. You can have a greater variety of work as a freelancer. You can pick and choose what jobs and projects to apply yourself to, and you can be spontaneous, you can be adventurous. That's freelance life. Now, on the flip side of that, the cons are you can make nothing. You can literally be zero. There is a real instability of cash flow. You don't know where the next job's coming in. You might find yourself having to always sell yourself and sell your service, which takes away from the time you're actually creating. And there's also a skill that we don't inherently have as creatives. We want to make shit. That's our purpose. So like I said before, I've hired and worked with a lot of freelance creatives. So I'm going to share with you now my observations on what traits the freelancers have that get the most work, get paid the most, and are most requested by clients. Some of the answers might surprise you. I do want to share with you things that I don't think that you guys hear every day, not regurgitated shit that I hear off other Facebook clips. There's actually real life experience and things that I've observed. I'll start by saying this. I do think that your main source of income as a freelancer is going to be from an agency, such as mine, or from dealing with brands or companies directly. Either way, I think these traits run true on either one of those parts. Okay, so here's the kicker. The best freelancers that I've seen out there, the ones that get paid the most and get the most work, are almost never the ones that are best at their craft. They are average to above average creatives, but they work the most and they get paid the most. And how is that? Because they actually have exceptional people skills, which, as you know, as a creative, whether you know some or you are yourself, it's a scarce resource among us, right? There are obvious exceptions. You know, my most talented video editor doesn't need to talk to people. He needs to edit videos like a badass, which he does. So those people traits aren't necessarily that needed. Saying that, if he had a toxic character or an attitude to the team, I would get rid of him despite his skill set. So it is really important. And when I say people skills, I mean they have charisma. They listen, they ask questions, they're attentive, you know, they know how to influence, and they have an aura of positive energy about them. They make people feel good. I'm telling you now, it means the world to client. Does the quality of the work have to be good? Absolutely. But I would say that the quality of the person is what matters first. To give you an example, I have had photographers that are amazing photographers, that are amazing behind a camera, but they have lost work because they've come in with an ego or an attitude. Even they don't even have to have the attitude thing. If they've just got a really bland personality and they're super vanilla, they turn up and just click a button, that loses people, that loses you work. But on the flip side, I've had average photographers get by on their photography skills, be super requested because they know how to create an experience for the client. The good news is that I 100% think that this is a learned skill. It's going to take practice, but the more you do it, the less you suck. Like anything in our creative space, practicing, learning the skill sets is super important. Now, there are a lot of resources out there in terms of how to be more charismatic, how to connect to people. You know, I'm an avid reader. I would suggest as a base point, picking up Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Building relationships and maintaining them is an absolute must if you want to develop a career. Okay, so an adjacent note to this is to look good, like show up looking like a creative professional. This may offend some little snowflake ears, but we live in a cruel, aesthetic, very shallow world, particularly in the professional space. I have noticed that fit people get more work over unfit people. Now, you don't have to be a supermodel. I'm sure as hell not a supermodel, but if you work out, you're healthy, you eat right, you have an aura of confidence about you, people are going to be attracted to that energy. Fit people just get more work than unfit people. And I know plenty of businesses that see your body as a reflection of you. I mean, think about the traits that are needed to have a healthy body. Have you got impulse control? Are you disciplined? Are you confident? Do you even like yourself? Do you act on emotion? Whether that's, emotionally eating or you just don't do something because you don't feel like it. These are assumptions that are made. Have a think about it. The other things I noticed about working creatives is that they take on working with a company as if that company was their own. They're not just a freelancer, they are a representative of that company. They audibly support the company. They take on the company's values. This could be a brand, could be an agency, but they become champions of that company. I'm telling you, this is a superpower if you can nail this, right? Yes, you can turn up. If the client books you, you can turn up. There is an exchange of value. You click a picture, you do your creative thing, they give you money, everybody's happy. But if they can tell like you are rooting for them, that you want them to win, that you believe in their mission and their goal, oh my gosh, that person is going to want to keep you around more and more because it is such a rare thing. I mean, think about it yourself. How many people did you know that actively root for you and believe in you? Even if you have a couple, wouldn't you like more? I'd sure as like more. Believe in them. Trust me on this one. They know you believing in them. Money's going to keep flowing. Lastly, be available and communicate fast, all right? Okay, think about this. There's usually a person whose job it is to book freelance. Make their life easier. It's a bit of a no-brainer. My coordinators that book people onto our jobs, they have a list of about 20-odd photographers. Their job comes in and they have to resource a photographer. Who do you think that they're calling? I'm telling you, it's the photographer that is going to get back to them the quickest, which will allow them to tick that box off and get on to everything else they have in the day. Usually Slido call them up and be like, guys, what the fuck are you doing? Allocate this person to a job. So they got a lot of things to do, make their life easier, right? It is never, I'm telling you, it is never the guy with 20 years broadcast experience, the guy that's won all these industry awards. Dude, I've never put any weight in an industry award before. None of my team do. None of the agencies that I know do. None of the business owners that I know do. It's the ones that communicate fast, are available, that show up. Time is our greatest resource. Like, use it to your advantage. Success loves speed. Okay, so speaking of time, I'm gonna wrap this one up because I have a real businesses to run. This isn't my gig. I'm not trying to make money from this, but I wanted to share this with you because it's stuff that I don't feel like people talk about, but it's stuff that can make a big impact to your business as a creative. I'll break down in another video the same thing with agency life, but to be honest, you freelancers have a real special place in my heart. You're like the wandering Ronin. You live life on your own terms. You don't know when the next meal's gonna come. But you know what? You back yourself, and I think that is really badass. So keep creating, keep evolving, and create your life on your own terms.